Man, it almost broke me. Let's get to some story time, y'all. So some years ago, I get an email from my agent for an audition, right? Like you do often when you audition, when your agent sends you an email that you have to put on self-tape. So I get it and I start reading it and I see it's for Power Book 2. Ghost. Now listen, the show at the time is one of my favorite shows on TV. Super, super excited. It says I go in and I can't wait to find the character. Who am I auditioning for? So I go in, I find the character. It says cop number 1. I'm like, dang. So if you know the show, then you know that playing cop number 1 is like you're gonna come in, you're gonna do something really, really quick, and you're gonna be out. First of all, the role didn't have a name. Like the name wasn't like Judy or Lisa or Wendy. It didn't have a name. It was just cop number 1. And then there was another audition for cop number 2. So apparently cop 1 and 2 goes and do something and we probably never hear from them again. So as excited as I was to get this audition for this show, I was disappointed right away in knowing that if I do book this, it will only be for probably a couple lines. And so I download the scene and it's like 2 or 3 lines, right? I go back to the email that the audition initially came in and I read the entire email. I always tell my students, read the entire email, right? Don't move on till you read the entire email. So I go back, I read the entire email, the breakdown of the character, what happens in the scene with this particular character. I go all the way down to the bottom of the email and there's a little space here that says other roles. So these are other roles that they're also auditioning for. So as I start to read the other roles, I'm like, there's a role for a character named Layla Jones. And so I start reading Layla Jones. It's like she's a prison inmate. She's in jail. She's going through hard times, whatever. And then she asks the CO for a morning after pill. Oh, sounds crazy, right? But I don't know the whole script. I just know what this character is going to go through. And what I do know is that I would much rather audition for the role of Layla Jones over cop number 1 for many reasons. Well, Layla Jones has a full name, first and last name. That means that the writers have a plan for this character. The fact that they gave her a name, that's one. Cop 1 and 2, there's no plan for that character. They're just in and out. They're there to help move the scene along, right? 1. 2, the fact that she had a full name and she was in prison, I knew that the last season to this show ending, this last season prior, one of the main characters went to jail. So I'm like, if she went to jail and they're looking for a character that's in jail, she must gonna be in jail with that lead character. I was right. So I saw that and I just saw the breakdown of the character. And listen, I'm like, I book prison roles. I know you're looking at me going, girl, she is too cute to be booking prison roles. I book prison roles and I know that about myself. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I email my agent. Thanks guys so much for the audition. Woo woo, super excited. But I noticed at the bottom of the email, there's a list of other roles. And one of those other roles, I take it, I highlight it, I take it and I copy, paste it and put it back in the email in bold. Make sure they don't get it confused. This role right here, I know I can definitely audition for and book. And then I resent them my prison headshot. Okay, so my agents already have this headshot, but I wanted to send it to them again because I don't want them to have to go look for anything. I want everything laid right out for them. I want to make it easy for them, right? Help them help me. So my agent said, you know what? This is great. Let's see if casting to see you for both roles. Both roles, let's get it. So my agent called me back and they said, casting will see you for both roles. This is before I said self. This is actually before we were doing self-tape auditions. This was before COVID. So this is when we were still going into the office in person to audition. So my dilemma was, which character do I show up as? Because cop walking in that audition room is going to look very different from Layla the inmate, right? So which character do I show up for? And I decided the one that I want the most. I decided the one that has the ability to have a longer life on the show. I decided the one that I knew was probably going to be opposite of one of the lead characters that I knew went to jail in the season prior. no brainer. So I knew the one I wanted the most was the prison inmate over the cop. I went in. I had all my hair cornrows back. I had an orange t-shirt on, a big oversized orange t-shirt on. I had on some big flip-flops with some tube socks pulled up over the cuff of my sweatpants. Listen, I was looking like a hot inmate mess, and I knew it, and I knew that I was authentic looking in it. But I also brought with me a blue button-up shirt. I bought a little short wig that I can put on and still play a cop, so I can also come in for the other role as well. So, but I went in dressed in as the character that I really wanted to book, which was Layla Jones, the inmate. So I go into the audition room, and as I'm sitting inside the waiting area, everybody in there is auditioning for the cop. I can tell by the way they're dressed. It's men, it's women, it's everybody, all ethnicities, all races, all everybody. It's a mixture. Room is mixture. So I know that for the cop, they're not looking for a particular specific thing. It's just a look. When you get in the room, you read it. If you fit the field they're looking for, you will get the part. As in the role for Layla, I knew it was gonna be something a little bit more meaty and different. So I'm in the waiting room, and I'm the only one there dressed like a straight inmate, like a thug, thugged out, baby. And they're in there looking like cops. So it's almost like for 2 seconds it would make you feel like, are we at the wrong audition? Are we in the wrong room? Is this the wrong date? But I knew that I was gonna, after I come out and do Layla, I was gonna go in the bathroom and change, and then look like them and go back and read for that role. So they call me. I go in looking like Layla, dragging my feet. I'm giving them all the that you would give somebody when you doing a prison role. I go in the room, say hello. I introduce myself. They said, start when you're ready. I believe I had the first line, if I remember correctly. And I just stopped. I gave a look, and then I just did the line. Looking so hardcore, right? I was scared of myself. So I do the role, I do it, and when I'm done, I can feel it. You can feel these things. That's the thing I do miss about going into the room to audition for stuff, because you can feel it. You can make them feel your energy. And so I feel like I made them feel my energy. I knew I did well. Didn't know if I was going to get the part, though. But because there's a million reasons why you do not book a job. You know, your job is to go in there and book the casting office. Go in there and do the best job you can with the role that's given to you, and then you leave it alone. So that's what I did. Changed my clothes, put on my button up, put the little short wig on that made me look a little coppish. I come back in the room and I wait. Did a good job for that too. Wasn't as memorable as that inmate, because baby, I need them to remember me as that inmate, because I know that it's an opportunity to give them some meat and potatoes, because the scene was a lot longer and the role is a lot meatier than just the cop's role. Her character carried more meat. It was more of a important part of the story. You can tell from the audition meet versus the cop. So I do my job for both of those characters. I leave. Then I get the call from my agent that I booked the role for Layla Jones. I didn't even have a callback for it. I just did it and I booked it. And you couldn't tell me nothing. I was about to be on one of my favorite shows that I'm currently just so invested in and watch all the time on television every week. And now I'm about to be on the show. I was like, what? If I didn't go back and read that entire email and then read the one that was under other roles, not the ones that was just submitted for me to read for, but the other roles, I probably would have never saw it. Being thorough and being detail-oriented in this game is so important, because there I was able to find what was organically for me. And so even if you don't remember who Layla was, you remember that there was a person in jail with that lead character. When you audition for these shows, you have no control over what's going to happen. You are there to do your job. And if you do your job correctly, you book. And if you don't, it's okay. You move on. But you don't have control over what's going to happen with these characters. And in this case, Layla Jones was called in for 3 episodes. I got to go in and do 3 separate episodes on the show, which was one of my favorite shows, to go 3 different episodes. And I do believe that they did intend for her to do even more than that. They kind of go in with this idea of seeing, of not locking themselves into too many things and kind of seeing where it will take them. And so I do believe they did have big plans for this character. But the lead character on the show, who my scenes were with, she ended up booking another show with some other hot, dope actors and singers and rapper. And to me, it was a great show. And so she went off to do that show. And I believe, my own opinion, no one's from production has confirmed this, but I believe that that's one of the reasons that my character wasn't really brought back after the 3 episodes, because they really stopped showing the lead character in jail anymore. They just put her on witness protection, and that kind of freed her up as an actress to go off and do the other job, the other show that she went to go do. So that my character might been able to come back a little bit more and have a little bit more legs as far as showing up in different seasons. But these are things that you don't control. Your job as an actress to show up, do your part. Once you do that, it's out of your hands. That's all you can do. So nonetheless, I'm grateful for what I was able to accomplish by being on the show. It was great. And the lead actress that I worked with was amazing. She was so sweet, so giving, so kind. And that's one of the shows that still does table reads. A lot of these shows don't do table reads anymore. And table read guys is exactly that. It's a table read. Movies, they do them for films. They do table reads when they sit everybody down with a script and everyone reads their particular scene. Well, a lot of TV shows, back in the day, all the TV shows would do a table read prior to each episode. A lot of these episodics don't do table reads anymore. But that show still does table reads, and I love it. There's so many stories I want to share, but listen, make sure that you subscribe and that if you need help getting into this business and you want information about becoming an actor or a stunt professional, I'm a stunt woman as well, a stunt professional, hit me up, follow, because I love giving out information. I love helping people get into the game. So if that's you, let's go. Let's get it.
How'd you get it?
A friend. Are you a friend of mine?
Why you want a friend at MCC? Don't nobody stay here past their trial. It seems dumb to make a friend at a bus stop.
But it's clear you've been here before, and you know Marshall Meredith, and I hope you know whoever made you want that morning after pill.
COs ain't friends, and he ain't a bad way to pass the time.